Hey everybody, it's Melissa. So I have the coolest little tutorial for you today. I'm going to show you guys how to make these cute little flowers. They're really easy to make, they're inexpensive, and I know my hands probably look like I've been dyeing Easter eggs, but it's actually just Glimmer Mist, so it'll wash right off. So let me get started and show you guys what you need. You start with muslin, this fabric that looks like this. It's really thin and it's really inexpensive. It's like $1.49 a yard. And just on the end of the yard, what I do is cut a strip about inch and a quarter wide all the way down the end. That's going to end up looking like this once you cut the whole thing off. And then you also want to cut a circle felt. And it doesn't have to be a perfect circle. It can be slightly oval or just kind of a rough circle. And same thing with the strip of fabric that you cut. It doesn't have to be, perfectly straight or even. It really doesn't matter. So then, once you get your strip cut of muslin, what I like to do is spray my Glimmer Mist into a cup or a jar, and you want to shake it up really well because you got all the glimmer in the bottom. So shake it up, and then I've already got a piece down in there once. So I'm going to spray it like that. Give it a little spray. And when you spray it, you get these little white lines that look like that. So I'm going to add just a little drop of water. If you add too much, it'll lighten the color, so you don't want to add a whole lot, but just a little bit, just to make the Glimmer Mist go further and to completely and entirely coat it in Glimmer Mist without using, like a half a bottle. So just kind of squish it around a little bit, and then once you feel like it's all pretty well coated, you just give it a squeeze, just to squeeze all the Glimmer Mist out, and it looks like this when you're done. Just like that. And then you do the same thing with the felt. Now that I'm going to demonstrate on this one that I've already done, because you want it to be dry, because you're going to be using fabric glue. I use this fabric tack. I really like it. But I cut the cap a little bit too big on it, and it comes out really fast. So I put it in one of these little micro tip bottles that look like this, just to have a little bit better control over it. Okay, so now I'm going to zoom in a little. So you start in the center of the flower, and you put a little circle of adhesive or fabric tack, and then I just kind of twist it a little bit on the end and then stick it in the center, and then twist the fabric around just like that, and then put a little swirl of glue up against where you've already started your little circle in the center there. And then once you've twisted it up, just stick it down into the adhesive, just like that. Oops. And I'm going to put some more. This takes a little bit of patience, but I think it's well worth it. And once you've done a couple of them, it's pretty easy. So let me just give it a twist, just like that, and then twirl it around. So you're just kind of basically going around that little center that you started, just gluing it down, just like that. And sometimes the center isn't, it gets a little flattened out, but that's okay because we're going to put a little something sparkly on top of it, to like a flower center, or I'll show you guys that in a minute. So just keep twisting, just like that. And you could make this, if you didn't want it really tight, you could just, twist it really loose and put it on there. It might make especially if you were doing a bigger flower, you could, twist it loose. Or if you're doing tiny ones, you might want to twist it even tighter. So let me put some more adhesive. And this fabric tack works really well. I've been really impressed with how well it holds. I used the liquid stitch, and I didn't like it as well as I like the fabric tack. Hopefully you guys can still see, kind of. And you got to be careful, because when you're twisting this end, the other end wants to twist the other way, so you kind of have to untwist it and keep going. And just keep adding glue as you go. Just make sure you're twisting in the same direction. And this Glimmer Mist is called Jazz Blue. That's the color of this one. And the green one that you see over there, that's Key Lime Pie. And the pink one is Cranberry Zing, this one here. And then this purple is one of the Chalkboard new Glimmer Mists, and it is called Concord. It looks like a grape, so it's really pretty too. So see how easy this is? Especially once you do the first one, it's really not hard at all. And I like that kind of raw edge. That's what I was saying earlier. You don't have to worry about cutting it really straight or trying to get it perfect, because once you twist it around, all you see is a little bit of raw edge. You don't really see the shape of, whether or not you cut the fabric straight or not. So it's really easy for giving embellishment. So I'm going to keep going. Add some more adhesive. And with the green one that I made, I actually, before I started swirling the fabric around like this, I put a layer of tulle down. I used this, and I really like the way that turned out too. I thought that was really pretty, because you see the tulle sticking out around the edges. And I didn't do this one like that because the only color that I have is green, but you could certainly buy white tulle, and this is ribbon, but you could buy it by the yard and buy white and then Glimmer Mist it the same color to coordinate with whatever fabric that you're doing. So you just keep going, and it takes a little bit of time, but it's really fun. It's kind of therapeutic. I like it. It's not difficult at all. And the thing I really like about it, it's really inexpensive, with the muslin being $1.49 a yard, and you're only cutting off about an inch and a quarter every time you make one. So it's really inexpensive. And if you spray the Glimmer Mist into the jar, it really saves your Glimmer Mist too. So, and I think you guys get the idea of how to do this. So I'm going to show you right here. Normally I would probably keep going just because you get a nicer, cleaner edge if you fill up the whole circle. But I'm going to show you how to, just because we're probably going to run out of time, I'm going to show you how to cut this. So you want to cut, since we have excess, I'm going to cut it. But normally you wouldn't have to worry about cutting it. You just take it all the way up to the edge. But see, it's easy to do that. If you kind of angle your scissors to get in there, it doesn't really, the back, that felt doesn't really show very much, and it's the same color, so it's okay. So then I just put a little bit of adhesive right there and then down the back, and keep twisting it, and then pull it over like that into the back. And then you just kind of squish it out a little bit and then let it dry. And it doesn't take long at all for that fabric tack to dry. You could put these vintage basil buttons on there. That's what I did with this one. And this one I put the Prima centers. And they make all these really cute. Like these have little jewels in the middle of them. Hopefully you guys can see that. And then these are cute too, to say it in studs. Put a center on there like that. And see how cute that is? So, very easy. And I also wanted to mention that I have been using this Preserve Your Memories 2 on all of my projects. It's acrylic protective sealant, and once you spray it onto your projects, it takes on the texture of whatever you spray it. So if you spray these flowers that are made out of fabric, it's not going to get hard or crunchy or anything like that. It doesn't change the texture, and it's water repellent, it's UV protectant, so it won't fade. It's acid free, it dries in like 2 minutes, so it's really awesome stuff. I use it all the time. I use it in my altered books, I use it on my cards, on my photos. It's really great stuff. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out my new website. It's melissasamuels.net. And also, don't forget to check out my blog, because there's always new stuff up there. It's melissasamuels.typepad.com.